Hello friends, this is Wake Angel 2001, and I have completed some of the minifigure rewards for this month. There's still a couple more to come, but these are the big ones. So first, we're going to continue with AC Reinhardt, who wants to continue getting more of the Wisps, and we're continuing with Cyan. This is the one that gives Sonic the laser powers, you may recall. So the Cyan Wisp, in one way, it's not that complicated, as it's just sort of a slanted teardrop shape for the head, but the shape of its tentacles are kind of different. So instead of sculpting them and having them come out all weird, I just cut them from craft foam. Then I, attach to the head and I'll paint it up. You can't really tell the difference. Although the way that the Cyan Wisp carries itself, I had to use a piece of wire to make a stand for it. This way, its eyes can be pointed forwards, because if you try to tripod it on its own tentacles, it's going to constantly be looking up, and that's just not how the Cyan Wisp rolls. Now, up next is Aiden's minifigure, Andronic. I believe this was Sonic Dash, the Infinite Runner game released for Android devices. Might have been on, it's a tablet game. And one of the playable characters in it was the Android mascot wearing a Sonic skin, which was kind of funny. Mostly because I came up with this idea a few years before that game actually came out. Recall when I purchased a vinyl of the Android mascot and painted it up to look like Metal Sonic. Frankly, I'm really surprised that they didn't have a Metal Andronic, because that would have made more sense, don't you think? Anyway, the only difference between my little paint job on the vinyl and the actual in-game model is that the in-game model actually has spines and a tail on its back, as seen in this photo. So, basically, it's not that complicated to make an Andronic. You just make the Android mascot, which is kind of like a trash can robot, or more respectfully, sort of like a more humanoid version of R2-D2, and then on the back, put on the spines so that it looks like the Andronic model. With a quick paint job, you can barely tell the difference. And yes, Aiden wanted me to put a keychain on its head so that he can probably attach this to his keys or his backpack or whatever. I think it's going to look pretty sharp back there. And that brings us to the last minifigure of this video, for Jacob, Pippi-Me. You may recall last month Jacob got Papago from the Pop Team Epic anime, and now here's Pippi-Me to be the companion piece to it. So, Pippi-Me is actually one of those characters that actually is close enough to my Chibi Ties minifigure style that when I make a Chibi Ties minifigure of it, it barely looks different from the actual, way she looks on a TV show. And, aside from the fact that she's a bit taller than Papago, yes, I made this figure a little bit bigger so it'll scale next to its companion. I can do that, it's my thing. We got a really cool looking little Pippi-Me. So let's just take a quick look at her next to her companion. And that's Pop Team Epic in my little tiny minifigure style. So those are the 3 minifigures I have for now. I really got to figure out how to get my 3D printer up and running so that I can actually just print these things out, because I'm getting more Patreon supporters, and it's going to be such that I don't have time to actually make all these little things by hand. So if I can just quickly rig up 3D models and print them out, then you all can get the satisfying experience of getting my little crafted minifigures by me without them actually taking quite so long. Anyway, that's for the near future, hopefully. This is Wake Angel 2001, signing off.